When it comes to working out, hydration is really important. I know I wonder, am I appropriately hydrated? Well, today I'm here with Patrick Zayas of UF IFAS Extension Agent, and he is here to tell me and you all about hydration. Patrick, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I really appreciate it. So I know that hydration is really important, especially here in Florida, and when it comes to working out. I know that I don't know if I'm appropriately hydrated, and maybe you at home feel the same way. So please tell us about it.
Sure, yeah. So ultimately, what's going to dictate your hydration and the drinks that you choose before, during, and after exercise is really going to be about your goals. So if you're somebody who's motivated to lose weight, your goals are going to be a little bit different than, say, somebody who might be training for a marathon or somebody who might be trying to get that new PR in the gym. And so really knowing your goals ahead of time is going to dictate kind of what you want to do throughout your gym routine and your drink choices.
Okay, that's great because I wouldn't even know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay.
So no matter what, beforehand, you really want to drink enough water, right? I mean, I think a lot of people know that, but the real time for you to be drinking water is before and during and after exercise. But ultimately, before exercise, especially if you're doing anything outdoors, you really want to be drinking a lot of water. When it comes to during exercise, this is where things can get a little bit different depending on what it is that you're doing. There's lots of sports drinks out there. Some of them have sugars and carbohydrates, which are really good if you're doing long distance or endurance activity or a lot of running. You want to make sure that you're refilling those sugar stores. But if you're just doing a light exercise or maybe just something quick in the gym, an option might be a sugar-free drink, a sugar-free one that just has electrolytes, just to kind of replenish your electrolyte storage. But maybe you don't need all the extra calories that might come from the sugars, right? And then, of course, after exercise, again, you're kind of looking at what exactly is your goal. If you're still doing that light exercise, you're trying to lose weight, then maybe just something like some water or some skim milk or just waiting until your next meal is appropriate. But if you're doing a lot of high intensity, long-term exercise, you do want to get something with some protein and some sugar in it.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so we have a few different options here, but
right.
ultimately what you want to look for again is if you're doing a lot of lifting and heavy weights, you want something with a good amount of protein. So an easy way to get that could be something like just regular skim milk or whole milk, but there are options out there for different pre-made milk drinks. If you're doing a lot of endurance, you also want to make sure that you're getting those sugars in. So a great option is chocolate milk, and that's what we're going to be doing for our recipe.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I would not have thought that. That's really fun.
Yeah, chocolate milk has a great ratio of sugars to protein. And so the ratio within chocolate milk is usually about 3-to-1, and that's really good for that high intensity, long distance exercise. If you're doing something like an hour or 2 hours, you definitely want to refill, make sure you refill with the sugar and the protein that like something like a chocolate milk can provide.
I wouldn't think to do that at all. I think it's natural for us to think that we have to stay away from sugar all of the time, but that's clearly not the case.
Yeah, like I said, it really depends on the activity. The longer you're going, the more intense it is. You're going to be burning through those sugar stores, and you want to replenish those. But again, if you're just doing something light, moderate activity, then you just want to make sure that you're staying hydrated. And an easy way to decide if you're doing a moderate activity is a talk test. So if you can talk throughout your activity, then you know you're kind of at a moderate pace. But if you're unable to talk and you're getting in that vigorous zone, then maybe you want to go something a little bit more sugar because you're probably burning those extra calories.
Okay, all right. That's wonderful. I had no idea. Okay, Thank
and it's
you.
also important just to mention things to look out for. You really don't want to be doing a lot of like the energy drinks or, it's really popular to maybe have like an alcoholic drink after your exercise, but that can really lead to dehydration.
Yeah,
so it's important to make sure to avoid those, even though it could be a little bit fun, but again, it might kind of hurt you in the long term.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so what do we have here then? What are we going to create?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a simple chocolate milk recipe right after. Let's say you've been working out for about an hour and a half, you're nice and tired. I do want to mention that if you are going to go with like a post-workout drink with like protein and sugar in it, you want to do it within about 20 minutes of exercise. So if you're done, maybe about 20-30 minutes is like a great time to get that drink in.
I didn't know that.
To refill those stores.
Okay. All right.
So what we have here is just some regular skim milk. So we're going to use skim milk. We're going to use a chocolate milk mix, which has those carbohydrates in it. And then we're even going to throw just a little bit on top some whole frozen strawberries. Just to provide a little bit more of those, that fiber and carbohydrates.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and get our blender prepped. And so we're going to start with our milk. And so this is 2 cups of milk and Made a little bit of a mess there.
That's okay. It's gonna be delicious.
And then we're gonna do a half cup of strawberries.
Okay.
And then we are gonna throw in just a little bit of ice just to kind of give it that smoothie consistency, but honestly, that is optional up to you. And
Okay.
then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of our chocolate powder.
Okay.
And just about any of them work. Again, if you are looking out for your calories and that weight gain is something that you're trying to avoid, then you can go with a sugar-free option as well.
Okay.
Instead of the sugared option.
Okay. All right. Yum.
Go ahead, put our blender on.
Good.
All right, yeah, let's get those cups over. Well, actually, we can just leave this on here. And let's just go ahead. So you see it has that smoothie consistency. That's really from the ice. The frozen strawberries will kind of act like ice anyway. So,
Thank you.
you know, if you want to avoid adding the extra ice, that's fine. But, you know, the extra water is great for hydration.
Sure, that makes perfect sense.
Just make sure this stays in here. There we go. That's good for
that's
about
beautiful.
2 or 3 glasses. So
Wow. Well, that is wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're
Cheers.
welcome.
I'm excited to taste this. This will be good. That's nice and light and creamy. It's good.
Good.
Very, very good. I feel inspired. I feel inspired to take care of myself. I think that taking care of ourselves is really important. Patrick, thank you so much.
yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I feel better informed about hydration when it comes to working out. So I say cheers to taking care of ourselves. I encourage you, please, to hydrate and be the best version, best hydrated version of yourself. Until then, take care of yourself and be well.